Are you still doing what's it called?
POD cast?
POD cast?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Brian and I will never stop doing that. It's too easy. It's only twice. We get together twice a month, and it's fun to talk about new metal. So yeah, and we make enough money that it's yeah. There's no reason to not do it. So
does Dan produce that?
he does. Yeah.
Poor guy.
I know he's got to sit there while it was funny this week, especially it was the Family Values 98 soundtrack. So that's like actually like a pretty seminal like album for new metal. And I was trying to get Susie Exposito from Rolling Stone to do it. And then she was in, and then she backed out like last minute, and we ended up getting DB. So that's like a wildly, like you couldn't have two more different people talking about it. And then Brian broke his foot. I don't know if you saw that. So it was like his first full day in a walking boot, and he was on drugs, and DB was there. And so the episode was like 2 hours long, and like 80% of it is Brian just absolutely in full fucking like rambling mode. And I felt so bad for Dan. You could just see Dan sitting there like, all right, we can get this over with.
One thing about Brian is he lives, I feel like every day of his life is a new story. I don't know how he does it.
Insane.
I don't know how everything he does is just an unbelievable thing.
Well, and he doesn't, it's because it really is, and he's talked about this before, but I think really what it comes down to is Brian sees himself as a normal guy. Like he grew up in like a shitty suburb of Columbus, where all of his friends were exactly like him. He's 44 and he hasn't changed since he was like 15. So yeah, it's like he does not have a concept for like what a weird story is. So it was like with the POD cast, we were like literally like 4 years into the show. We're on episode like 50 or whatever. And he just casually drops that like the first time he did acid, he was 12. And he just like, and he has like no concept of like that's weird. I'm like, how have we gone this far and you never brought all the times we've talked about drugs on this show and whatever? How is it just now that I'm learning you did acid when you were 12? And he's like, well, it wasn't like a big deal. It was like my friend's older sister just said it makes you laugh a lot. And I was like, well, I like laughing. So yeah, I'll just do acid. That's fine.
Of course.
And you're like, okay, what? Like, yeah. So I think that's really the key, is like he just doesn't understand what is so unique about so many of the like things that have happened to him.
That's funny. I know someone who's like in their early 40s from a small town in Colorado, and a lot of her stories are kind of the same, where she just casually did insane drugs at like a super young age and had all of these like insane experiences.
As another guy
you guys are kind of describing my life right now.
Yeah, as another guy in his 40s, that's just what it was like for me growing up. Yeah. Not special.
Like I definitely like smoked opium in 8th grade.
Yeah. I definitely dropped acid in 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah. What do you mean you smoked opium? Was that like an accident? Was it on purpose?
No, I don't know how the fuck. Just like I had this, I was like, I joined my first punk band and I had like a birthday party or whatever, and my parents were like, okay, like and I was like a wiener. I was not like a bad kid at all. So my parents were just like, yeah, we'll just let them do whatever they want, and like. We were like using spray paint cans as fucking blow torches and smoking opium and doing all kinds of stuff. And it was like, in hindsight, one of the craziest things, because it was like broad daylight and we were just like out in my parents' front lawn. Yeah, just my friend somehow had opium and we smoked it. And I tried to play drums and then I had to take a really long nap. And it was like my 14th or whatever, 15th birthday.
America is just different. I think also, like, I think being Canadian also has an effect on it. Like, I just, yeah.
I feel like you both have to maybe be American and be like a genuine piece of shit.
Well, yeah.
And like, that's no disrespect to Brian or Caleb or me. that's just who I am. And I just gotta live that truth.
Decay of American suburbs or whatever. I don't know, man.
Like, yeah, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Like a lot of Brian's stories are similar to that, Caleb, where it's like, yeah, we were just in our front yard and we, like, yeah, one day we got really high and we just tried to like break the street lamp or whatever, just
Yeah.
like stuff like that.
Dude,
where
that's
you're
like exactly what my childhood was like. We just
You didn't
By the
have
way,
apps?
My parents weren't like, I mean, I guess they worked a lot, but they weren't like bad parents or absent or
No,
anything.
mine
You know what
either.
I mean?
They were. I was just kind of like a latchkey kid. So like
Yeah.
after school, I was like, let's steal some rubber cement from the art room and set a fence on fire.
Yeah, you just did stuff like that because there's nothing
It's-
else to do. We didn't have phones or internet or whatever.
Yeah, you didn't
could
have
play video
apps.
games or
You
burn
couldn't-
things or whatever. Yeah.
You couldn't doom scroll yet. You couldn't perceive the entire world and realize just how shitty it was yet.
I
So
mean,
you had
I
to-
didn't
you-
either, but I was
you
like,
had to-
I guess a loser. I don't know. I was in the gifted program, so I guess that's we were just doing different shit. But I was
mean, loser's a
curling.
real subjective term. It's not like we were out there scoring or anything.
No,
We were
sure.
We were burning fences because we couldn't fucking talk to girls.
Sure,
I mean, at least for me.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I mean, I couldn't talk to girls either, but I was also just scared of everything, so that didn't help. But anyway,
Incredible. All right. All right.
That's a
let's
fun cold open.
Western Kabuki.
welcome back to Western Kabuki. It is a wonderful day. Sun is shining in the Midwest. It's a nice 80 degrees and almost autumn. How are you doing, Caleb? How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic, except right when we did our clap for the intro here, I elbowed my soda can and it fell and it spilled all over the ground. So that sucks.
Do you need to
Oh,
do you need to
no.
spill that? Or clean that? Not spill that. You already spilled it.
I am cleaning it with a towel in my foot as I'm talking to you. So I got this. Dude. I'm like one of those monkeys.
Oh my
that's
God, he's
doing,
like a one-man band.
yeah. I got this. We're good.
There's been a lot of foot content on Western Kabuki recently. I was reminded
there?
recently. Yeah, Janie. Do you remember when we did the recording with Janie and she her toe started bleeding? She stubbed her
Oh,
toe and it was
right.
bleeding
Oh,
or
yeah.
something mid recording, and she had to go take care of that mid recording.
That was completely
That was-
cut out of the episode, but I
What,
was
really?
thinking that we should name the episode Janie cut her foot while we were recording.
If you have that, you should.
Janie's
I mean,
got
that
a
would just be
cut.
fun. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't realize you cut that from the episode. Well, for people who listen to that episode, yeah, there was an incident mid recording, and she had to
What
go
happened was
take care of
Janie
it.
was like, "Hey, I'll be right back. I just cut my foot on a piece of glass."
Yeah.
Just mid recording. It was incredible. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm good. I got outside and walked around today, which was really nice because it's really beautiful out. I feel like it's the last couple waning days of summer before we hit the fall.
Yeah.
And I ate some stir fry, so I'm vibing.
Good
I'm in
day.
a great place today.
We're there in the Pacific Northwest. I went outside, just kind of sat on my back porch and was sad for about 15 minutes because it's about time for 9 months of just gray hell. I was looking
Sorry,
absorbing it like a lizard on a hot rock while I could.
Yeah, that's the thing I've learned through knowing you is that it and talking to people in the Bay Area is some of the weather is just it's so consistent out there. I would hate that. I love when it's negative 10 degrees. I love when I walk outside and ice shards form on my hair. That's what I need. It can't just be gray and slightly rainy and 50 degrees every day. That's not how it should
Yeah,
be.
it's you guys have different seasons. I just go into low power mode for 8 months.
No, not good. Not good. We got to do something about the West Coast. All right. And then we have joining us today, John Cullen from Blocked Party, also on Jeopardy Pod, and also on the POD cast. John, how you doing?
hello, I'm excellent. I will try not to cut my foot. I do have a lot of broken glass and nails and other debris at my feet in my studio, but I try to not cut myself while recording. So we'll see how that pans out.
So far, every time you've come on, you haven't done it yet.
Haven't done it yet.
so
I feel pretty confident
record.
about it. Yes, yes, yes.
So my studio is in my basement, and there's just a shitty overhead light with a little pull chain to turn it on. And the other day I came in here with such purpose. I had something to do, so I walked in here. I walked through the light bulb. I just smashed right through
No.
my head.
Why
I
is
didn't hurt
everyone-
myself. But it was just like, I was just like, and then I was like, fuck, like now I can't do the thing I have all this purpose to go and do. It was a nightmare.
God, okay, I feel left out. I need to destroy my foot after this episode. Maybe during. I do have a glass bottle over by me. Maybe I'll break it mid-episode. If you hear shatter, just know what I'm doing if I disappear for a little bit. All right, so today we brought John on to talk about the amazing world of bullshit products that exist out there. This episode, I kind of wanted to do this episode because in the last year, especially on Twitter, I'm sure anyone who's on Twitter has been scrolling and just noticed some of the strangest ads that you've ever seen on the website. Like ads on Twitter used to be for like cars or like game consoles or video
Nike.
games,
Brand
whatever.
names.
Yeah, like normal stuff you would go to the store to buy. But in the last year, it's just been weird shit. So before we get into like the main bullshit products that I wanted to just go over, some of the things I found and thought were interesting or fascinating. Some of the things that I saw that led me to do this episode, I have like in a little honorable mentions section. So Caleb, if you want to read the top left one, these are all Twitter ads.
Yeah.
Just screenshots of Twitter ads. If you want to read the top left one and kind of describe what you see in the image that goes to a website called The Ideas Blog.
It's got the this is from Logan Forster, real name. It's got the moon emoji and it says, "Enjoy peaceful nights and better breathing with our advanced silicone nose clip." And then the picture is a really pissed off looking guy kind of cupping his ear, and there's a woman sleeping on the couch, and it says "instantly stop snoring." And she's got like a clown nose thing on her face that like I've seen these before. And I actually broke my nose as a kid, so I have a deviated septum. I think this is supposed to be like a sleep apnea thing. But it doesn't do anything to actually address oxygen flow. I've seen these. It's just like a clown nose. And
yeah, I love the idea of trying to do something about sleep apnea, but not actually like going to the doctor and not actually getting like an oxygen mask or anything at all.
Or even just a fucking breathe
it.
right strip. Like if you have a deviated septum, you can just do that. You don't need the clown nose.
She really does look like a clown.
I don't know. She looks pretty cool to me. I'm stoked on it. The guy that's in the photo disconcertingly looks like Canadian comedian Pat Thornton. I just posted a picture of him in the chat here that you two can look at. It almost makes me feel like the AI that they generated this image from had an image of Pat.
Yeah, it's
Jesus
like
Christ,
1-to-1.
that looks exactly like him.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my
1-to-1.
god. Oh my god. As soon as I saw the ad, I was like, did Pat Thornton do an ad for this? What's going on here?
And so one of my favorite ones, I found this 2 months ago, by the way, in July. I found this next one in July. It's a word search, but it's not just a word search ad on Twitter, which very strange to do a word search ad that you can't actually do. It says, with Word Search Explorer, embark on a wondrous quest of adventure and wisdom where the fun never stops. This free-to-play word game makes learning new words so easy and so much more fun. And it's, again, I found it in July, but it's a Christmas-themed word search.
Just getting out in front of the rush.
I love when ads are just so clearly AI generated too. Like, who would ever fucking describe a word search as a wondrous quest of adventure and wisdom?
I'm always learning from word searches. Word searches are really kind of my key. That's how I got smart. I do also like that in the word search graphic here, it says hints and then lists the words, which you don't usually refer to the words in a word search as hints. That's what you're trying to find. You're trying to find those. So if that is a hint at the words you're supposed to find, they did a really shitty job because they're not hinting at anything. They're just giving you the fucking words that are in the thing. So great work, auto-generated.
Also,
search.
just for whatever this is worth, one of the Christmas word search words is Cupid.
Yeah.
Which, okay, sure, that is like a reindeer, but like,
oh shit, I didn't even. Okay,
yeah, like come on, get your Christmas lore in
word
check.
search.
You're
one,
not a
Caleb
true
0.
Christmas nerd.
God damn it.
No, that was funny. That was good.
I mean, it makes
You're just not a
I was just gonna say, like, it's fine because not all the reindeer are in it. So like it would make more sense. Like you've got no Blitzen, there's no Comet. You got Cupid, but not Comet. I mean,
Star. Okay, you put the star on the top of the tree. Okay. These all check out. They pass the smell test.
John, if you want to read this next one in the bottom left,
Oh.
I think this one's kind of perfect for you.
I would love to read this one, June.
Yeah, and
this
then
one,
describe the images, of course, as well.
I will. This says there's a few perplexing elements to this one. So first of all, it is the account that tweeted it is called Hudi, or HUDI, which stands for Human Data Income, or at least that's the Twitter @. And then it says, "What is this cap? It's not official." And then it has a picture of a 47 brand hat with like a pre-curved brim, like a dad, similar to like a dad hat. And then it has like a 3D image of a frog riding a unicycle.
It's Dat Boy from 2016.
Is it Dat
Oh, Dat Boy.
Wait,
Okay.
you're Canadian. You wouldn't necessarily be thinking about Dat Boy.
I don't know.
That's like
What is Dat Boy?
that was like
it was a meme which literally was that frog riding a unicycle with the text, "Oh shit, here comes Dat Boy."
Oh, I see. Yeah, we didn't
And-
get that
and
in
like-
Canada. We referred to him as Le Grenouille, which is the French word for frog. But that is, I'll say, for some reason though, that is not the most perplexing part of this ad. The most perplexing part of this ad for me is that it has 508 retweets, or 505, I can't read, and 13,000 likes and 30 million views. So I don't know how
Pretty
many
good.
promoted tweets they paid for or what is going on. But yeah, like you can see in all the other ads, it's like 1 like, 0 likes, barely any impressions. But this one, the Hootie unofficial cap went the distance. So
people saw Dat Boy and were like, "Yes, let's bring back 2016. Let's bring back the Gary Johnson meme of him recognizing Dat Boy. We need to go back." People were so into it. You know, I saw that and I was just like, "What is this?" Especially the AI generated text. Just so good, perfect.
you're like, who's
And then,
buying that? Like, I don't even, and
Yeah.
it doesn't even appear to be linked either, right? Like, there's not a link where you could go to buy it. Yeah, it is
there wasn't.
very
It was just the
confusing.
picture. It was just that picture. You couldn't click anywhere. Like it wouldn't click through anywhere. It was incredible.
Great. Well,
And then Alex, if you want to read this last one, and this will lead us into the next little segment that we have.
This last one says, okay, it is from Shield Republic. This is someone who pays $1,000 a month for
Yeah,
their
they got the yellow check.
Shield Republic. Yeah.
P
and
check
it's
mark.
a
Yep.
it is a shirt that says, oh man, roses are red, Kamala's not black, Joe has dementia, and Hunter's on crack.
Hey, come on, Alex. Read what's actually on the shirt, dude.
Sorry, I was just expressing an opinion. The shirt just says "I love New York."
And so that one actually does properly link to a page. And, you know, like another thing with Twitter recently is how right-wing everything's become, all these right-wing ads. And this is an example of like drop shipping. I don't know if you guys know about drop shipping or like
Oh, yeah, I
anything
do.
about it at
I do,
all. But
yes.
it's
I do actually. I
Yeah.
used to be a drop shipper.
You used to be. Okay, what are your thoughts before we go and talk a little bit about drop shipping? What are your just like initial thoughts about it? Because from what I know of it, it's basically just like throwing a ton of low quality like
Yeah,
products
you just sell
out
you just
in the world.
sell crap for like straight from the manufacturers. It's a bit different now than when I was doing it because like before this was before there were like 10,000 e-commerce like get rich quick scheme kind of courses. It was just like if you like early-ish or whatever internet, more early internet than now, 10 plus years ago. like if you were into any sort of internet marketing, which is my trade, as you guys know, you would have at least known about some of this kind of stuff. So it's like, okay, well, you can find, like, for instance, some of the products that I would sell was like people who wanted didn't have a lot of space but wanted to have like a chicken coop, an urban chicken coop that like you could sell. So essentially what you're doing is you're having them buy the product and then you sell it to them from straight from the manufacturer at a markup. I would pay like $47 for one and sell it for like $300 or whatever. And I just ran ads. So like my cost was $47 with the ads and shipping and everything. And I never had to actually hold any product, and I would make the difference. And like for about a good 6 months until a bunch of other people found out about that product and it got saturated, I actually made pretty good money. And then I did like neti pots and just whatever crap. And then I did it for like less than a year, and I was like, this is actually stupid. This is too hard to like find. You get like one good product and it lasts for a few months, but that's just what it is. So these people, essentially what they're doing for t-shirts and the margins are so razor thin, it's almost impossible to make money on this. And the only reason you're seeing even ads for this is because it's so cheap to advertise on X, because Elon's done such a fantastic job. Is like these shirts don't exist yet. You know what I mean? They're going through like Redbubble or something, right? Like they set up a fake shop that's an intermediary between the person who purchases it and Redbubble. So the person, Shield Republic, probably, if this is a drop shipping situation, doesn't hold any inventory.
I'm pretty sure this one is, because I've seen different Shield Republic ads for different shirts that they have before. This was just one of the first ones I saw, but so that this likely is one of that.
I'm sure that the one that I read, the clown nose sleep apnea thing, was also just another doodad that doesn't exist. You're just buying it through a middleman.
Right. And I just assume at this point, pretty much any sort of weird shirt you see on Twitter that's an ad spot is going to be dropship. Oh, yeah. Especially because so many of them are right wing. I've noticed at least a lot of like right wing like type of, I guess, merch. I don't know what you'd call this. Like fan is who wears that? Who wears the shirt? Like that one guy in the airplane. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. That dude who sits on the airplane and records himself making like smug faces probably would wear this.
The one that's like proud traitor or whatever. Like, I'm voting for the traitor, not the gay liberal or whatever. Sits on the airplane.
Dude. Yeah, this is. I'm looking. I don't know, June, if you checked out Shield Republic, but there's a lot of cool stuff on the website as well. Also, their Twitter bio, very cool. At Shield Republic, we focus on conservative values, all first responders in our military, Donald Trump, and enjoy our daily glass of liberal tears.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yes.
Very fucking sick. This shirt's probably my favorite so far. It just says, I'm with Kamala. Just kidding. I'm not a fucking idiot. So that's cool.
Got our asses,
I need that. Holy shit.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. There's another one
there's
here.
There's a not safe for work section. Oh, it's just more shirts. Damn
that would have been awesome if it was
Trump themed dildo.
Like conservative themed sex toys. I don't even want to know.
Yeah, this is good. We've got a don't take my tools. I need them to pay your bills. Which I don't even know if that makes sense. And also, who's trying to take people's tools? It's very weird. I
like this one. Just one more gun, I promise. And it's a picture of like an AR style rifle. Really good stuff on this website.
This is a good mashup.
If she don't hawk Tua, I don't want to talk Tua.
No,
that's good.
There's a
there we go.
Hawk Tua one.
Yeah, that's so good. So basically what you're saying when you wear that shirt is like, if she doesn't spit on my cock, I'm out. I'm fucking out, dude.
Yeah, I literally will not speak to her.
Yeah, spit on my cock or you're done. You're fucking out of here. This one's good. This one's got like 2 different issues on here that I think is kind of nice. These guns no longer identify as guns. They self-identify as handheld wireless peacekeeping devices. You must accept them as
so
such.
Epic.
So that's so fucking good.
And also, if you want red on their website, the colors they offer in this shirt are black, navy, and ox blood is how they describe red. So that's pretty sick as well.
There's so much more, so many better shirts than I could have ever imagined. I am probably going to spend hours.
So crazy.
There's like a million shirts. There's so many.
There's many.
There's hats. There's Liberal Tears hats. Liberal Tears Brewing Company.
That's good.
I miss the America I grew up in. Basically, any shirts on this website are like what you'd see like a dad in like a country road gas station with like 2 people in it wearing. Like this is perfect for that kind of guy. So if you need Halloween, or not Halloween, Christmas gifts soon for your father, great website.
ShieldRepublic.com. Check it out.
Yep. Since we kind of, Caleb, you pretty well summarized drop shipping. We'll just kind of go over, Alex, if you just want to read the final section of the article that I pasted in.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to jump ahead. I didn't see this.
No, you're
No,
good.
you're
You summarized it way better, I think, than some of this could be. Actually, if you want to stop or start at the drop the info, just skip that like a little preamble I put in there.
If you've never heard or don't know what a dropshipper is, it's someone who sells products for a company through online advertisements. They don't actually have the products they're advertising on hand. Those products are stored at a warehouse and usually shipped straight from said warehouse to the buyer. This process sounds seemingly innocent. The dropshipper advertises the product, a netizen buys it. Netizen.
I know, I saw that. I was like, geez, okay.
That's cool.
A little outdated.
Yep.
And they arrange for the product to go straight from a warehouse to the buyer. But the old adage, buyer beware, really applies to any consumers looking to engage with this practice. Dropshippers have been around for a while, but they're becoming more popular on social media, such as with TikTok's new feature, TikTok Shop. On TikTok Shop, you're able to buy whatever these influencers are advertising with the click of a button. I always get ads for a fucking coffee table. That's the one I always get on TikTok. Is they're like, you're not going to believe it. This coffee table, and it's like a gamer
gaming
coffee table.
Yeah, we talked
Like,
about that on Blocked
we're
Party
like-
recently. Someone
Yeah,
brought
it-
that
Tell
up.
me about this table. I'm curious.
Yeah, what is it?
I'd like to know more about this table, Alex.
you can basically extend a part of it,
Yeah.
and it's just like makes a little table for your lap that you can put your laptop on, so you never have to go anywhere except sit on your couch.
That's $1 million idea. The one that I get on TikTok is the one that's like 10,000 games in one USB stick.
Oh yeah. Yep. On TikTok Shop, you're able to buy whatever these influencers are advertising with a click of a button. There's always a link to the product at the bottom of the video if you're interested in said product. TikTok Shop supposedly started as a way for creators to advertise their small businesses and promote their own products, but it's mutated into a big cesspool of drop shippers. This convenience may be nice, but is it worth all the downsides? Drop shipping is slowly taking over users' feeds on big social media apps like TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. South Student J. Faig, F-A-I-G. Faig?
I think it's fag.
I feel like I'm getting... I'm not
I can say that.
Alex and Caleb and I are all just like, well, we're not going to touch it.
I was doing
Anime
that
size
thing
sweat
where I was
bead dropping down
uncomfortably
my head.
rubbing my hands together. I had all this flop sweat, dying to know how I was going to pull this off.
Yeah, that was the anime close up with like a.
South Student J, last name redacted, said, quote, I see at least 2 dropshipper ads a day, and I don't even scroll TikTok that long. This is overpowering small businesses, as there's a lot more drop shippers than small businesses. Drop shippers have also been caught stealing designs and product pictures from small businesses. But social media marketing has skyrocketed over the past few years, and these marketing tactics are leading to more sales of these products, which are usually trend-based items. Since retailers are selling so many items so quickly, the items tend to be poorly made or cheap quality. But South student Zane Phelps, much easier, said, people tend to think that because a product is cheap, it is better, even though that is not the case. These products usually end up getting thrown away or donated once they're no longer on trend. This also causes unnecessary waste from the packaging they require on shipping. Mass production generally always has a bad effect on the climate, said Jay. As sellers also get to decide how much they want to charge for a product, dropshippers tend to be known for scams, unreliability, and unexpected product delays. They might end up selling you a cheap product for an unnecessary amount of money, depending on how much profit they want to make from it. It's funny because I find myself seeing Twitter ads with notes on them that are like, this person's drop shipping this. It's bullshit.
I was just
Don't
going to
buy
bring
it.
that up, how anytime on Twitter, because I'm not on TikTok, like it sounds like you guys are as often, is the only time I'll see a lot of these drop shipping ads, there will be that community note calling out where it actually came from. Because that's basically how I started to learn about drop shipping and how a lot of them will steal like designs and just literally resell it.
You can drop ship from like legitimate and even US based companies. It's just a lot harder. I did have an arrangement with a US based company that did a specific kind. I'm not going to out myself, but a specific kind of manufacturing, building materials kind of situation that I would source to like architects and general contractors and stuff. You can, it's just difficult. Obviously, most of these, and this was also again a long time ago. Now it's just all doodads and stuff that's going to give you cancer and chemicals and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. So it seems like lately drop shipping has kind of been a sort of pandemic in social media. I don't think I've bought anything that's been like drop shipped, but somehow I've only really recently learned about that, and it's, I don't know, seems like a scam in a lot in not to call you out, Alex, but Caleb.
No,
Caleb, you were the one that did it.
Listen, I've tiptoed around it at this point enough on this show. Like we all know that I was into some kind of gray area marketing stuff to try and get by when I was a younger man. It's fine.
Yeah.
So one of the things, like on Amazon, when you buy something and it's like, this is from Hisweb Industries or something, you're like buying it from some weird fucking name.
Yeah.
That's generally drop shippers too. It's people
totally.
who are like, I'm going to set up an Amazon shop and I'm going to sometimes, and they will like either, those people though, I think are actually sending them out. They like buy warehouse space, but there's still a lot of people who are just like, yeah, I'm going to drop shit through Amazon. It happens all the time.
My mom bought me an air fryer off of Amazon and the brand name was VP Cock. VPCOK.
Well, that's another thing too. Yeah, is the whole. I mean, Amazon obviously changed the landscape, and you can just like white label anything. Like that same air fryer probably is on there under like 50 different brands. So,
yeah, my mom's obsessed with Amazon, so we just end up with Amazon related items often from her. She thinks it's the greatest thing that ever happened. So.
Most items I've bought off of Amazon just to be like, oh, maybe I'll see if this is going to work out for me. Maybe it'll be like high quality. Never is. Oh, yeah. It's very rare that it's like I'm browsing just randomly and I'm like, oh, this might be promising. It usually isn't. So moving on. So this one is like a really weirdly specific one. This is kind of in line with some of the honorable mentions that I found off of a Twitter ad. And so if you scroll to this air freshener device, if you're looking at the document, you'll see why this one caught my eye immediately. So I saw
didn't
this.
think of this.
Yeah, so basically
you haven't done that before. It's just something I do all the time.
So yeah, the ad says by Clarifion. It says, too much dust in your house? Enjoy crisp, clean air with this simple device. And the image is, of course, AI generated, but it's an image of someone pouring straight bleach down in like an air vent in someone's home. And I was like, I saw that and I was like, I have to click on this fucking ad. I need to see what this is. I cannot scroll past this.
These are the same people who
you're
like
not the only one that just sees something insane. And you're like, yeah, I have to click.
I gotta click it. I gotta see what this is. This is like the same people who like washed their groceries in COVID. It's like the same people who are like, maybe if I pour bleach in my air vent, then COVID won't get in my house as well.
Yeah, and like to my surprise, genuinely, the ad. Well, maybe not to my surprise. I shouldn't be surprised. The bleach down the drain or the air vent has nothing to do with anything else on the website or the review that I found. That is just pure like insanity. I don't know this. The bleach down the air vent does not come into play. I was very disappointed. I really wanted to learn some life hacks about bleach in air vents. Sadly, that's not what we're gonna get. I just thought that. It drew me in. So I'm going to read the review. I'm almost 100% sure. I don't have access to it anymore. As far as I'm aware, the website that had this review is no longer up. I could not find it. But I did, when I first found it, screenshot certain segments of the review just because I was so fascinated by this product. So this is the review for this simple little device as it's described. So Carol F, 76, never imagined her beloved home would almost kill her. Great way to start a review. Like, I don't know, I what kind of home? Like that drew me right in. Perfect start. So, happily retired, her new passion was socializing with friends. She spent hours entertaining guests, but then something terrible happened. All those symptoms, she said. Just vague symptoms.
All those,
What were you
all
sick
those
with?
symptoms.
I just had a lot of
I had
symptoms.
so many
there were,
symptoms.
dude, there were way too many symptoms to count. I don't even want to talk
You
about
guys know. You
I
guys know
had
what it's like.
symptomitis.
You guys have had symptoms before, right? You guys know what you know what that's like.
God,
when you get all of them,
worst.
it's crazy.
And then it almost kills me.
Yeah, in my beloved home.
So she says, all those symptoms, she said, finally made me realize how dangerous these airborne allergens can be. It wasn't just discomfort from the allergies, it was the thought of losing my one joy left in life. Spending time with my friends and family. Jesus Christ. She knew she had to do something to get rid of these allergens so she could host visitors again. Immediately, she started looking into air purifiers, allergy products, and even service to come deep clean her home. That's when the real nightmare began, Carol said. I called a cleaning service and they wanted to charge $600 for just one treatment, way out of our budget. So we went to the store and purchased one of those air fresheners. What a waste of money.
That's not what an air freshener is. First of all, it's not what it does. Anyway, continue.
It doesn't clear allergens?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not the point of it.
Yeah, no. This might just actually be the world's most dumbest person or AI generated. It's honestly hard to tell. I'm leaning towards AI generated review.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like a real person reviewing a real product.
Oh no!
Although
definitely
let's
not.
never forget the Sisyphean times when there was a person that would have to write this for shitty dropship products.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not super familiar with that. This to me, there's just like it's like the part that was like all those symptoms just does not sound real. It does not sound like a human wrote that. Like it's just stuff like that I'm like, I don't know.
You've never dealt with symptoms before?
Not vague symptoms
You
like
had
that.
all of them at
Usually
once?
I can describe the symptoms I'm feeling. That's usually part of it.
The review just made me think of like when she brings up, or quote unquote she brings up the like, I wanted to pay a cleaning service. Like imagine you did pay a cleaning service and they came over and just started pouring bleach into your air vents. That's what they did. Like, no, we promise this works great.
Oh,
Don't worry, dude. This is for your symptoms.
Yeah.
It'll clear up the allergens, I swear. All right, so then she continues. Within 2 weeks, they'd completely stopped working, and when they did, they only helped a little bit. And the allergy products that contain harsh chemicals just weren't worth the risk. Running out of options, Carol had a tough choice to make: spend a fortune deep cleaning her home or give up her hosting hobby. Trust me, said Lisa, you'll love these little air devices. I just placed a few of them in your bedroom and living room, but you can use them anywhere. You don't want pesky dust and allergens flying around. They work like a charm. She wasn't kidding, said Carol. Later that evening, I plugged it in and let it run. I was skeptical at first, but to my surprise, the air felt cleaner and there was no dust in sight, not a single sniffle or cough all night either. And those are the only screenshots I got from the review. But I just love the idea that there's just this little magic device that isn't described in any capacity. Because I read the whole review in the past and there was no description. There was no image of what this device was. You could spend money on this website though, but as far as I'm aware, this device doesn't exist. And I'm assuming that's how most products that are advertised on Twitter like that are. Like they don't even exist. It's probably a scam. But I just love this device. Hopefully one day.
So it's like an air purifier, but just different somehow.
Yeah, it's like magical. It has like magical properties. No idea.
I want one.
I know. We'll find it. I'll find the device. I'll find the device later. We'll do a deep dive on the device.
Link is in the show notes.
Get your device there for your symptoms. Another bullshit product that I thought was just insane was the Cyber Hammer.
Yes,
Elon Musk's
dude.
Tesla branded hammer. So at first when this launched, I thought you could like buy it with real money. But no, it wasn't something you can buy for real money. You have to spend credits on it. It was 35,000 credits. And the description reads, limited release by redemption only. Ready or not, it's hammer time. Our limited release Cyber Hammer commemorates the Cybertruck unveiling, because of course the Cybertruck needs little accessories. When Franz, I assume Franz is someone in the company, used a sledgehammer to show the toughness of the vehicle's stainless steel exoskeleton. Designed by Tesla Design Studio, it's made of steel. Cyberhammer features a laser etching of Franz's signature on the head that'll make this piece a true collectible. Only 800 were made, available in limited batches, only through Tesla Refer and Earn program. So I guess if you buy Tesla stuff, you get like credits. And
sounds like if you make other people buy Teslas, right? It's like refer and earn. So if you manage to convince your friend to buy a Tesla, you could have a Franz official sledgehammer.
And the best part about this, and why I consider this a bullshit product, is in the note below all of the description. It says, do not strike hard surfaces with Cyberhammer intended for display or So it's a fucking hammer that you can't use as a fucking hammer. Like, what is that?
By the way, while you were reading that, June, something fun just popped. I went onto YouTube and to TikTok and stuff, and I searched Cybertruck versus Cyberhammer, and there are a ton of videos of people hitting their Cybertrucks with Cyberhammers and then being upset that it actually leaves a mark on both products, actually. So
I'm not surprised. I mean, we've seen Cybertrucks like cross a small puddle of water and get completely rusted immediately.
This is a non sequitur, but did you guys see the one that I just posted the other day? There was like a video of some guy who's like, for some reason, my Cybertruck is electrocuting me every time I turn it on. He even got like the multimeter out and was like, yeah, it's like 120 volts. Like, it's really bad. It actually he turned it on and like grabbed his friend's hand, and it's just, what a great product.
So fucking good. Oh my God. No, that's amazing. Alex, were you gonna also, was that the same thing?
I saw where did I see it? I saw an amazing video, which was a cyber truck driver who like smashed his truck through a fence.
Yeah.
And immediately, and it was like a cheap plastic fence. It was a piece of shit. And the fence itself immediately got stuck in the Cybertruck's undercarriage, and it destroyed the truck. Like, it took no time.
It was like leaking something. There was like a liquid leaking out the bottom of the Cybertruck. It's like, what is the point of this indestructible car if you can't even run through wooden fences? Like, if you can't treat life like GTA with this indestructible vehicle, what's even the point? Yeah. There is none.
I looked up, apparently during that presentation, the Franz guy, he's like the lead designer for Tesla. He smashed the doors with a sledgehammer and nothing happened to the doors. But then he threw a metal ball at the windows to also demonstrate that the windows were indestructible, and the windows broke. And then Elon's whole plan was to like stand in front of the Cybertruck to be like, look, it's indestructible. But he's standing there and the windows are broken behind him. And then he said that it was the sledgehammer's fault, that when they hit the door with the sledgehammer, it like loosened up the glass, and then that's what made the glass breakable. And it's like, okay, but so if you get in a car accident, like there's definitely the chance of multiple impacts. So you're saying that like it's indestructible once, and then who knows what happens after that?
Then you're out of luck.
Yeah.
No, there's just so many bullshit products by Elon. I just linked to another one. This one actually seems like more legit, but
this looks cool.
It's called the Cyber Quad for kids. It's like just a small ATV, electric ATV. There's just all sorts of insane shit you can buy that just looks awful from Tesla. So, that's an endless fountain of bullshit. Moving on, Caleb, you mentioned this one. You brought this one to my attention.
Jack. Oh, Jack.
Yeah.
3D. Yeah, dude. Okay.
Do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, should I read it or should I just like give you my firsthand experience with using this
Wait,
wonderful
okay.
product?
Okay, I guess let's just preface what it is and why it's insane, and then I would love to hear your experience with it.
Okay, so it's a pre-workout, and there's probably a small amount of you, if you're like in your 30s at least, that are listening to this, who gym people that were like, oh god, I know what's going on here. It was like a pretty infamous like pre-workout supplement, and you would take it before you'd work out, and then like it was like miraculously like you'll have the best workout of your life. And I was like, this is bullshit. None of this is like all bro science. But like used to do like Muay Thai and some other things, and would lift with a bunch of my buddies when I was younger. And one of my friends finally got me to do it, and I was like, oh my fucking god! Like I went nuts. I went sicko mode. So I got it, and they used to just, by the way, sell this shit in stores and everything. Like you could just get it. You didn't have to buy it online. You just go to whatever. And it was the best product ever. And I was probably like 6 or 7 months into this. Like my gains were great. I would do it. I'd feel great. And then everyone's like, dude, did you hear the news? I was like, what news? Like they discontinued Jack because it's like, it's meth. It's like the same chemical component as meth, because this shit is not regulated at all. And yeah, actually, so all of us were just like getting slightly methed out before we would work out. And yeah, we would lift like fucking crazy and go nuts. And the reason that they found out about this, because again, FDA does not regulate any of this shit. The only reason that they found out what was in this fucking crap is because a couple of Army Rangers like got really hopped up on this shit before a training exercise, and 2 of them fucking died.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Shit.
Oh man.
Like they definitely went over like the recommended dose or whatever. But then I think as I also recall, like some athletes were like testing, like popping hot, pissing hot for this stuff. And then it just, what a fucking conundrum. I was like, oh my, you know how stupid you feel when you realize like, yeah, dude, like I've lost all this weight. I'm stronger than ever. I'm fast. I'm like all my rep PRs are just been crushed. And you find out it's because you've been fucking taking meth, basically. Very embarrassing situation.
Like it was so weird. Like I was crushing my workouts, but I was also sleeping 1 hour a night.
Yeah, like,
and
dude,
my teeth
my
were
house
getting all
was
fucked
never
up.
cleaner.
Yeah.
Like it was a weird time for me. Like I gotta say, like the like 5 months or whatever that I was taking Jacked, pretty good deal for me.
It's crazy because like, so I used to be like a high level athlete in the sport of curling. So, take high level
Yeah.
for whatever you want. But, we got like drug tested and stuff. And so, yeah, there's like a whole like WADA, which is like the World Anti-Doping Agency, has like a whole website that kind of says like, these are the products that you're probably safe to take. And they basically say like any supplement you're taking, you could be in danger of popping for anything because of exactly what you said, Caleb. Like even because there are some pre-workouts and some like just like nutritional supplements, whatever, that you would take where it'll say like, oh, we're 100% safe, and if you're an athlete you can absolutely take this, there's no contaminants, blah blah blah, and people have popped on those too. So it's just like they basically say if you're taking any
Famously
supplement,
happens in like UFC quite a bit. People will take a tainted supplement and not know.
totally. And so yeah, they basically say like you can take them, but your life's kind of in your own hands. Like if you pop, you might pop. And it's just like, it is wild that there's this entire industry where you walk into these supplement stores and it's a whole wall of just like, is your dick small? Are you a fucking pussy? Take this shit,
Dude,
and then it's, you're like, oh, it's meth
the
or
fucking
whatever.
ripped guy with an 8th grade education at GNC would be like, dude, take this, it'll change your life. It's, like,
It's got
okay,
meth
that
in
sounds
it.
right to me. Yeah.
It's got meth in it.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one's called crack. Why do they call it that? Because there's crack in it, actually. That's
Did,
they just call it that.
did you stop?
By the way, there
Did you
was
stop
a
taking
little
it
while
because your dick's
after,
small?
and I didn't explore it because I had no desire once I learned what this was. But some of my less smart friends will say, less intellectually gifted friends, like we're looking into it, and apparently there was a way that you could, like from like some Eastern European country, you could buy the original formula online for a while.
No.
Yeah.
Next, we're gonna find that, and we're gonna get Western Kabuki. All of us, we're gonna be on this original formula Jacked. Next time you hear us, we're gonna
First live show.
yeah.
When
We're gonna
finally
be losing
announce
our
our
minds.
tour, we're gonna all be on Jack.
That's how we're gonna make it. Holy fuck. So I think we only have about like 10, 15 more minutes. So I think we're going to skip the Rabbit AI one. But if you're interested in the Rabbit AI, it's a really fascinating rabbit hole. No pun not intended. Ed Zitron, friend of the show, wrote about it, and there's a very like fascinating review of basically this gadget, AI gadget that just straight up doesn't work or do anything. Yeah, it just is garbage.
The TLDR on it, we won't get into the article or anything. Ed did a really good review, and Ed actually like antagonized this company so bad that the company responded, and he has episodes on his podcast about it, Better Offline, et cetera, et cetera. Some of you have heard this anyway, but if you haven't, it's essentially like it's supposed to be like a device that you have so you don't have to use your phone. It's like a secondary device. So you could just pull it out and like order food, or like you can take a picture of something and it'll tell you what it is. But the problem is just none of it worked. And it actually like it was just like an Android instance running ChatGPT basically, as I understand it. It wasn't actually its own thing. Anyway, horrible product that like lost millions and millions of dollars.
And wasn't there, I might be wrong, but wasn't like the person who like the founder, didn't that person like disappear for a little bit too? Like just stopped responding to stuff, or am I incorrect about that?
Yeah, a little bit. They went radio silent. So they tried to address the rumors. And then they went radio silent. And this guy, and it's been a couple months since I've read about all this, but he was like an NFT person, of course, before this, and like wanted to start some insane NFT powered solar grid. Very strange guy. And as we were preparing for this episode, I read the update, and all of their user data has actually been hacked already. So,
yes,
that's the cherry on top of how this story ends. There are this story, the company, the founder, Jesse, I can't remember his last name, Jesse Liu or something. It's been a while since I've read about him, but again, listen to Ed's episode about it, or anybody, if you want to read about just the history. The guy, it's just like, it's one of those things. It's like a modern day robber baron story. If the robber baron had a concussion the entire time, it's just so stupid. It's insane.
Yeah. It's a very, very strange story. Yeah, we'll just go past that one, because these next two I really want to talk about, because they're, of course, the election season's coming up, and I find presidential and campaign oriented merch just the most fascinating, because most of it is like, like a shirt or a hat or something that you could actually, do something with. But this one, so before Joe Biden dropped out, this one came out a day before that disastrous debate that led to Joe Biden dropping out of the presidential race. The Joe Biden campaign launched this Zero Malarkey Biden water, and it was like dark branded water. And there was I don't have it on here, but there's a picture of him holding it and drinking it. And on Instagram, the caption says, "From Joe Biden, I don't know what they've got in these performance enhancers, but I'm feeling pretty jacked up. Try it for yourselves, folks." The link's in my bio. See you in a bit. So this was like before the debate that he was like, "Yeah, I'm jacked up." He probably had meth, is what he thought.
He had the original formula. He bought it from some Eastern Europe. He got it from Ukraine. That's the whole Ukraine scandal.
He spelled jacked wrong in his Instagram post. There. Just had free instead of an E there.
Yeah. But no, I just think that's like insane that, like, I mean, of course, everyone's seen that debate. Joe Biden was Sleepy Joe. He was horrible. And that, like, every attempt to make him seem like he was like normal and gonna kill it, and his brain was all there, is just crazy to like sell merch like this. And of course, like any insane branded political merch or like, anti-woke beer, a single can of this water was $4.60. Which is insane for fucking water. It's just a can of water. That's the
what
size
is this?
Of like
Woodstock 99?
Oh, get their asses!
Jesus Christ! I mean, come on.
And now that Joe Biden dropped out, this is a very rare product. So you can go on eBay and search for this water. You can find it for like anywhere from $50 to $200 a can of unopened dark Brandon Zero Malarkey water. Just insane.
Based on his debate performance, they probably should have put something in the water. Like, they fucked up. They fucked up by just being like, "Hey, here's our 79-year-old carcass of a president. And you know what fuels him? Just plain old water, baby. That's it. He just drinks water and he's totally fine. It's like, you know what? Maybe they should have put some shit in the water. That might have helped. That they messed up. They did a bad thing.
They really should have given him meth. He would probably still be running right now. Yeah,
Absolutely.
just mainline meth every day, and he would clear 50 state sweep.
All of the listings on eBay call it Joe Biden Dark Brandon secret sauce.
That's what it says right on the
secret
can, Alex. Yeah, that's the if you see the little like tape, it's like taped onto the can right below the Dark Brandon.
Oh, Dark Brandon secret sauce. I truly thought that someone had just taped that on.
No, because I think it's like, I think what they're going for, and I could be wrong, but I do believe that is a Space Jam reference. To halftime when Bugs Bunny tapes the like Michael's secret stuff on the bottle. I believe they're making a Space Jam reference, which is ironically the last movie Joe Biden saw. So
I think you're right about that, actually. God damn it. Yeah, rip Joe Brandon. We haven't heard from him in about 2 months now. He's gone. See ya. And then, so this final insane one. So this one launched this Monday. I was fascinated by this because Trump, he's back on Twitter, advertised he was going to do a space. He was like, "Oh, big announcement for the campaign. We're going to do a Twitter space, 7 p.m." And everyone was like, "Oh, what's this going to be? Oh, what is he going to talk about? Like, I don't know, wokeness? Probably." No, he launched his own NFT company, which I feel like, John, last time we had you on, we talked about how there was like a Canadian hockey company that was really late to the game for NFTs. And this is like
the NHL, basically. Yeah. So it was like NBA had Top Shot, and then the same company that did Top Shot did an NFL one as well, which I think is called like All Day. They also did a UFC one. And then baseball right away, they kind of did their own with Tops, I think, like early on. And then, the NHL was like, it just launched like 8 months ago. And it wasn't with any of the kind of like major, quote unquote, major NFT companies that were doing like the other sports ones. It was with Sweet, I think. And they were just like, hey, you guys remember those NFT things? We're doing them now for the NHL. And get in there. You guys will have a great time.
And that was like 9 months ago. And we were talking about, oh, it's late. Like they're late to the party. They're really late to the party. Like NFTs are fucking dead. But they're still selling them. So looking on the website, it's Collect Trump Cards. There's a lot of different categories that you could buy from. And this is the most expensive one. It's sold out, only 25 buyers for this one. And I'm just going to read through some of the benefits. I sadly don't know the price of this one, but I have to imagine it's more than $3,000 because the previous tier is $3,000 and still available. I have to imagine this tier had to at least be $5,000, the most expensive one. So you can 2 ultra VIP dinners with Donald Trump. So basically a fuck the fan contest. You get to fuck Donald Trump and have dinner with him at his private club in Florida. You get a pair of platinum shoes. Like Trump like shoes.
Why?
Yeah, there's like
are those platinum? They're like tennis shoes. They're like kicks.
Yeah,
exactly.
He did gold ones before, right? So I'm guessing this is the like next step up. We did the gold ones, but now if you get the NFT, we got platinum shoes.
Yeah, they're the platinum shoes. They're insane looking, and keep in mind, you get every NFT. You get 250 digital trading cards of Trump, just in different like costumes. Basically, there's. If you're looking at, and we'll have this in the show notes, but just a screenshot I have here, there's an image of Donald Trump holding like a Bitcoin. I guess that's a Bitcoin. There's an image of him wearing the golden sneakers that they sold before. There's one of him like with punching gloves on. There's one of him in like a superhero costume. There's all sorts of different Trumps you can collect. So you can get those platinum shoes in the most expensive tier. You also get 2 pairs of the golden Trump shoes. You get physical copies of the NFTs, and you get a limited edition all gold NFT, and you get all these like special commemorative NFTs for like $5,000. So
it's more than that. I just looked it up.
Oh no, how much?
The 250 card set is $24,780.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
25 people bought that, by the way. It's sold out.
That is unbelievable. But yeah, it's on. I was looking at on quartz.com. They were talking about that. And yeah, that was it's $99 to start. So it's just like if you want one, it's $99. And then and then if you buy more, you get more stuff. And then if you buy the it's limited to 25 buyers, comes with a host of benefits, including 250 NFTs, 24,750. Sorry, not 780.
I'm imagining someone with those 250 NFTs sitting in their basement, just scrolling through them every day, just admiring them like Smeagol.
100%.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Crazy. No, I can't believe people buy this stuff. I don't know. To me, it's like some of the biggest bullshit. I mean, all of this is going to be like a rug pull too, after, no matter what happens with the election. All of this is just a scam, which is crazy that a president is just allowed to do that. Should be illegal. I think that should be illegal. But who am I to say? I'm not the president.
Yet.
So maybe someday I'll launch my campaign. Basically, last thing on this, before I think, John, you said you had some before we close out the episode. Well, you had some like Canadian Shark Tank products that you wanted to at least mention
God.
or go over.
I mean, really, there's so many good ones over the years. Dragon's Den is the Canadian version of Shark Tank. It's a little more real now than it used to be. But I urge you to check out probably the worst one it was probably from about 10 years ago. And it was this white man from Prince George, British Columbia, which is not nice. It's a small town in northern BC. And he comes out on stage there's a limousine on the stage. And then he comes out with some women he has clearly hired and dressed in concubine adjacent costumes. And he is wearing traditional Chinese dress. He also is sitting the entire time. He appears to have some sort of physical ailment and where he can't stand, that's fine, but it just adds to the sort of weirdness of the pitch, which is that he wanted to start a limo service from Chinese airports for businessmen because he claimed that such a service did not exist in China and he was going to start it. And he was like, yeah, when you go to China, like you can't get, you can get a cab, but you can't get like an airport limo like you can in North America. And then, of course, he's pitching this to rich people who have been to China many times. So one of the dragons says, well, when was the last time you were in China? And he was like, well, I was there a couple of years ago, but I used to go all the time. And he's like, okay, well, I go to China like 4 times a year. And guess what? A limo picks me up from the airport every time I go. So this is wildly confusing that you're acting like this doesn't exist. He's like, it does exist. And then he kind of tries to like fight the dragons about it. Anyway, it's phenomenal. You should definitely look it up. I think it's not so much a product as it is a service, and I guarantee that he never got it off the ground. So,
for sure, definitely not. No, it doesn't.
So
sound
good
like
for
it.
him. Good for him.
If the hosts were pushing back immediately on that, that's insane.
It was great. Yeah, there's so
I
many.
Also love that they're called the
ones.
Dragons in Canada. That's so much cooler than Sharks, honestly.
Shark Tank is just a ripoff of it. Like, so it started in the UK, like Dragon's Den started in the UK, and then we're a Commonwealth country. So we got it by osmosis first. And then Mark Burnett, the producer of Survivor, was like, I could do this without paying Britain any money. I'll call it Shark Tank.
Honestly, I'm on his side. The UK should not get any of our money. That's the one patriotic take I have is we should not give the UK anything. Eternal
we won
enemies.
In 1776, and that's it.
Oh God, yeah. So that's, I guess, some bullshit products. That about wraps this up. Then, John, I already plugged all your pods, but if you want to expand further, where can people find you?
Sure, yeah. Well, Blocked Party is kind of the main show, but it is coming to an end. We're going to keep doing it on Patreon, but both June and Alex have been past guests on the show, so if you want to check it out, it's a fun time. It's myself and Stefan Heck. We bring on a guest every week to talk about a time they got blocked on social media. I also have a new podcast with Emily Heller called What is a Jeopardy Podcast? It's the first ever comedy podcast about Jeopardy. And really, there are no podcasts about Jeopardy other than the show's official podcast and a couple other smaller ones. So we just said, you know what, let's do it. We're doing it. It's a lot of fun.
Genuinely shocking.
I know, right? It's probably aside from sports, it's like the most popular show on television. And yeah, there's like a few people that have done a similar show, but not to the level of what we're doing. So yeah, it's called What is a Jeopardy Podcast, comes out every week. Even if you're not a Jeopardy fan, we hear from a lot of people who say they're not fans, but they like the show. So check it out. And yeah, if you like new metal, you can check out the POD cast. It's very fun. Me and
Everyone
Brian
loves new metal.
Quinby. Alex Goldman has also been on that show. We made him listen to an album by a really bad band called Element 80.
Oh, it really sucks.
Yeah, it really
was
sucked.
garbage.
It sucked really bad. So yeah, lots of fun stuff over there. Those are my main projects, and you can follow me everywhere at Cullen the Comic.
Amazing. Caleb, Alex, do you guys have anything before we wrap up here?
Just to say that there's a lot of great stuff coming on the Patreon, right? We've got the Jersey Shore show coming. We've got June, the thing that you're working on.
No, the Alex, or sorry, I keep mixing you guys up today. Holy shit, Caleb, you
exactly
and
so.
Marcos have
Oh yeah,
a show planned out. Not, I don't think you've recorded yet, but if you want to expand on that,
we're still workshopping. It's gonna be interesting. It's the chiral mindset is what we're calling it. We're doing like the idea. I think the best way I can describe it is a show where we talk about conspiracy theories, but we just assume that they're true.
and with
So that comes
Marcos,
naturally for you, Caleb, I guess.
Yeah, no, like I'm just like I kind of like we were kind of talking about this in the Discord too. Is like, what if everybody was like, what's the most insane thing that you believe in? I'll just do the mental gymnastics to be like, yeah, that's probably true. And we'll just talk with Marcos, who's like the perfect guy for that.
yeah,
It's the moon landing for me. I can get there on the moon landing being fake. That's like the only conspiracy theory. I don't think it is, but it's like the one where I'm like, I can get there. I can
If you saw the
understand.
right evidence,
Yep.
if you saw the right things, you would absolutely
Absolutely.
be
See,
on
the
that
moon
like
side.
is so
everybody's
fucking
amenable
far.
to one, right?
Yeah, we got to the moon in 1969. And also, why'd we stop going? You know what I mean? What's up with that, dude?
So many questions.
I've
questions.
got a lot of questions.
Yeah, no, I think every crank conspiracy theory is true, and they're going to prove it on the chiral mindset with Marcos, the homie, and Caleb, and probably me and or Alex at some point on some of those as well. So yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff coming up on the Patreon. I think that about wraps it up. See